Hello guys, I am Zachariah the Ghostwriter. Today I was watching episode 8 and episode 9 of Shaka Ilembe. The numbers are not good, but something keeps telling me to continue reviewing this season 1. I don't know, and I will just follow my instinct and keep reviewing this season 1. I was watching episode 8 and episode 9. Nandi had no choice but to agree with Ketenyana because it was no longer safe to be around Elangini. And they went to the kingdom of Kwabe, a beautiful place. And this waterfall reminded me when Ngomani was fighting with Kotongwani. And that's when we have seen Baleka being stabbed. Once again, Shaka and Nandi found a new home. They were welcomed at the kingdom of Kwabe. And we have seen a beautiful transition now. Shaka was a teenager. Shaka was making his own decisions. And we have seen how difficult Shaka was to parent. Shaka didn't want to accept Ketenyana as his father, although Ketenyana was taking care of them. He didn't want to see that. Ketenyana was doing everything in his power to show that he can be a father to them. And he also offered to train Shaka so that he can be a part of Ibuto. Because Shaka was losing fight against this guy. This gentleman is a distant family member of Shaka, but he didn't know history. And he kept telling Shaka that you are a disgrace. No one accepts you. Even if when you go to your father doesn't even allow you to spend a night. Even to sleep with dogs, he doesn't allow you to spend a night there. You are not worthy to be in the presence of your father who is denying you. Shaka tried to fight back several times, but he took his losses. He's been losing, and he's a bad loser because once he loses, he just want to walk. He doesn't even want to listen to other members of Amabuto. And at the end, that's when Ketenyana spoke with him. He told him that I can train you because you behave like you are a man now. You're drinking alcohol, you come to my home drunk at night. You don't even respect me. You don't respect my family. I think it's time for you to join Amabuto. But Shaka didn't want to accept that. He said he's going back to Kwanombamba so that he can be trained by his biological father, Senzangakhona. And he said goodbye to his mom, Nandi. She was heartbroken. She didn't want him to leave. She tried to speak with him, but he said, this is my path. I have to take this trip. I have to go to my father so that I can get what belongs to me. Because he felt like he was robbed his destiny. He should be the king of Kwanombamba, not his siblings. And we have seen, Ketenyana being a great supporter to Nandi. He said he's old now, don't worry much. He can handle anything now on his way to his father. Let him go so that he can be with his father. If you want his father to train him, that's fine. You shouldn't worry much about him. Let him go to his father because he has shown so many times that he wants to be trained by his father and he doesn't recognize me as his father. And that was very nice of Ketenyana to make sure that he support his queen. And I must also mention something. He is a total opposite of biological father Senzangakhona. He doesn't judge Shaka. And he is not threatened by Shaka. He sees Shaka as a young man who needs training so that he can become better. On the other side, Senzangakhona sees Shaka as an enemy. He sees Shaka as someone who will be powerful and who will dethrone him from his throne. He will take over the kingdom and he will be the most loved, and his name, Senzangakhona, is not going to be celebrated more than Shaka will be celebrated. And that's why he feels jealous. But Shaka doesn't see that because Shaka, he's growing. He has so many things happening in his life right now. He arrived at Kwanombamba and he hoped that, his father will be happy to see him. But unfortunately, Senzangakhona was not happy to see him. Senzangakhona already selected one of his child to be his heir so that he will take over when he's gone. And Shaka didn't like that. Shaka, he said, I'm your firstborn. But he said, I have many children who I can put on the throne, and I don't need you, simply because of, he is not even sure if Shaka is his biological child. Because he said, if you are my biological child, why did your mother take you without my permission? Why did she decide to stay there and be busy making babies for other men? She should have come to you, with you, and introduce you to me again. But she didn't do that because she's busy on the other side. Obviously, that means he had that Ketenyana, he is now dating or staying with Nandi. And that means he is still jealous of their relationship. He doesn't want to accept that Nandi can fall in love with somebody else. He's taking out all his frustrations on Shaka Zulu. And Shaka saw that, and Shaka was not happy about it. And he said, ever since your new wife, BB, showed up, you are a different person. You don't even respect us. You listen to whatever that she's saying. And Senzangakhona felt like Shaka was attacking his queen, and he got very angry. You know, when I look at that story of Shaka and Senzangakhona, it's very painful, because Senzangakhona is taking advantage of the love that Shaka has for him. He knows that Shaka loves him so much, in a way that even if he keeps on abusing him, or he keeps on, putting hands on him, Shaka will always forgive him. Because of, in front of everyone, he started putting hands on Shaka. I've never seen him being physical to any of his children. But when it comes to Shaka, he put hands on Shaka. He doesn't love Shaka, but he doesn't want to see Shaka shining somewhere. That's the problem. When Nandi is there, he doesn't want to show love to Nandi, but he doesn't want to see Nandi being happy somewhere. And Shaka had no choice but to go back to the kingdom of Kwabe, so that he can be with his mother, Nandi. And I like what Nandi did when Shaka returned home. She welcomed him. She had a very important conversation with him, which reminded me my late mother many years ago when I was still a young man. I didn't know what to do, and she sat down with me and she just gave me a word. And I am who I am today because of what Mom told me many years ago. Sometimes when someone is not accepting you, it's your mom's duty to sit down with you and make you understand certain things. Now, this scene hit home. It reminded me many years ago, and I understood why Nandi did what she did. Nandi sat down with Shaka, and she said to Shaka, no matter how hard you're going to try to show your father how much you love him, he is not going to see that. Because he doesn't want to see that. And he will never see that. You need to accept that. You need to understand that I'm here with you. You need to accept that this is our situation right now. That's where we are. You tried, you went there, things didn't work out the way you thought they will. Right now you are broken, but you need to heal and you need to focus so that you can become a better man. She said to him, Kendeyana, he is still standing where you left him. His decision is still the same. He is willing to help you. He wants you to be better. He wants to put more effort in you. He wants to make sure that you reach the highest level that you can potentially reach. He is there to help you. He is not trying to take things from you. He is not competing with you. Take his offer. Let him train you. Be strong, so that when you're strong enough, you'll go back and take your kingdom. And we saw Shaka listening to his mom, and he spoke with Ketenyana. And Ketenyana said, you need to understand that once you are a part of Ibuto, your victory is not a solo victory. You must always remember that Ibuto is a group of men. You are a team. So whatever you get, you need to share with everyone. Your loss is everyone's loss. And he said, even in the forest, all those trees are connected with other trees, and trees are connected with source. It's the ecosystem. That's how it works. No one stands alone and survive. The reason why you see the forest being that way is because of they feed from each other. So you need to understand that you must work with men. and make sure that you are there for your brothers. And that's what happened. Shaka trained and he became a great warrior after he was trained by the general Ketenyama from the kingdom of Kwabe. On the other side, we have seen Zita doing what he do best, making sure that he takes Kotongwani and Ngomani to King Makasana. We were introduced to Kwa Mabudu. He speaks Zonga. He is working with the Portuguese. That's how he is trading with them. And every time they get slaves, they have to bring those people to him so that he can see how much he can get from them. And we have seen when he was about to kill them, Baleka showed up and she said to the king, remember, you promised me that you will do anything for me. I can ask anything after I healed your son. So can you please save the son of Jobe? Unyambose umkhulu. And we have seen something unlikely to happen when someone was just spared their life, when he said, if I may ask, can you please also spare the life of Ngomani? He is a trusted man. And if it happens that you won't save his life, can you please cut my head first so that I won't see you killing him? He's always been loyal to Abateto. The king was confused because these two guys were just fighting when Ngomani was calling Kotongwani a traitor. But King Makasana, he is a reasonable man. He decided to spare their lives since he promised Baleka that he will grant her wish if she will ask for something. And he decided to repay what he promised, what he owed Baleka. And Baleka was happy to be with Dingizwayo again, who used to go by the name of Kotongwani. So when we see their love story also, it was connecting, and now they were next to the ocean and they were far away from people who knows them. It was like their honeymoon space. Ngomani went back home to the kingdom of Batetwa. And when he arrived there, he found out that Mawewe now is the main man. Mawewe wanted to become the king so bad after the passing of Jobe. And he was making sure that everyone come to the royal house so that they can announce him as their king. We have seen how his mom was putting things in his head. She was telling him that you need to make sure that you are known as a king so that you can put law and order here. And she also mentioned that she doesn't like Kotongwani's mother. She must get this in her head, and she must understand that her son, Mawewe, is going to become a king, and everyone who is always against Mawewe will learn a lesson. She was saying that while they are still mourning the death of their king, King Jobe. And during his last days of King Jobe, that's when his mind, started to put things together, and he realized that, his son Kotongwani is not here. And he wanted Kotongwani, and they told him that, Kotongwani died because you ordered that he must be killed alongside 4 of, your children, alongside the other 3. Because remember, King Jobe has 6 children. Mawewe survived, and Kotongwani's sister has been married at Kwakwabi. While Mawewe and the queen are planning to take over the kingdom of Abateto, we have seen Kotongwani and Ngomani working together to take over the same kingdom that Mawewe wants to claim. And we have seen also King Makasana, building a good relationship with Kotongwani, telling Kotongwani that your father passed away, you must go back and take over your kingdom, because Mawewe is planning to take the throne. And Kotongwani told the king that he has no support. It's not going to be easy. Mawewe is not going to allow him to take over just like that. He will go down fighting. And the king promised him that he will give him amabuto, he will give him soldiers to support him. Now, the good thing about Kotongwane was that he built a good relationship with King Makasana and also built a good relationship with King Bungwan. Both kings sent their soldiers to help Kotongwane to win a war against Mawewe. Obviously, it got worse for Mawewe simply because of he also lost Ngomani, and Ngomani left with the other part of Amabuto. So his kingdom was becoming weaker and weaker. While on the other side, these two kings were busy planning to rule for a long term. Makasana knew that if he support Kotongwane right now, Kotongwane will remember him and he will trade with him. So the two kingdoms will be stronger together. Mawewe ran to Kwakwabe so that the king of Kwakwabe can help him with the military. That was the advice of the queen. Unfortunately, Keteyana had only few men which he was busy training, including Shaka. They were not that experienced, and they lost against the army of Kotongwane. Kotongwane had 3 different armies together. And that's when we saw Keteyana telling Shaka that he is a friend. I don't want to fight against Kotongwane, but I must follow the instructions of the king. And he said Shaka should follow his instruction. He shouldn't go to the front line because he doesn't want to lose many men today. Because he knew that he cannot win against that army of Kotongwane. He had many experienced soldiers compared to what Keteyana had. But Shaka obviously didn't listen. Shaka decided to go to the front line once he see his friends, were about to defeat it. And he didn't want to lose. And Keteyana had no choice but to also join him in the front line, simply because he cannot let Shaka die. What will he tell Nandi? Unfortunately, that's how he lost his life. He was killed. Now Shaka had to take Keteyana home to tell his mother that we lost your men. While Kotongwane went to the king to tell the king that I am not here to fight. I am here because I want Mawewe. Mawewe must pay for his sins. Mawewe made a false allegation against me and my brothers were killed because of his tongue. And the punishment was brutal when he ordered that they should cut Mawewe's tongue, and from now on Mawewe is no longer part of the Batetwas. Kotongwane took back the throne. He became the king of Abatetwa, while Nandi on the other side was heartbroken. She had no choice but to accept that her man was killed because Shaka couldn't follow his instructions, and she told Shaka that you betrayed him. He had to go in the front line because he didn't want you to die. You were supposed to listen to him. You are the one who caused all of this. You are putting us in danger. Every time I'm trying to find peace, you bring problems. And obviously they had no home anymore, and they have to go and look for a new home because Shaka cannot listen. He said, what kind of a king will you be if you can't control yourself as a teenager? How are you going to rule if you can't follow simple instructions? She was angry at him because he keeps on messing up, because he can't listen. And that's how episode 8 and episode 9 was. I just wanted to speak about these 2 episodes, guys. And I appreciate you guys showing me love and support. I will come back and speak about episode 10, 11, and 12. Thank you.